Now, step number one, which happens to be the cheapest step, is to reduce the amount of grains and processed foods that you're consuming. One of the best things you can do to help improve the situation is remove the issues that might be causing the situation. Now, that doesn't mean you can never eat another processed food again. I'm just saying do what you can to reduce any burdens that might be making the situation worse. Now, let's go on to the next one, which happens to be the easiest step that you can take and also the most effective. If you're just going to reduce problematic foods, the process is going to be a little bit slower and it's going to take a little bit longer. But if we go to step number two, we can use some supplements that will speed things up a whole lot. Now, beet flow works really well because it has a lot of concentrated beet greens juice. Now, beets don't really do a lot to thin the bile, so don't just eat a bunch of beets and think that you're going to fix the problem. And don't get a beetroot supplement because beetroot doesn't really do anything to thin the bile. You need the concentrated beet greens juice. Now, you could also eat beet greens, but if you want it to be as effective as using a supplement like beet flow, you're going to have like a bucket of beet greens every day. You're going to look like a horse when you're eating. So that can be really problematic and a lot of work for people. So I find that people tend to just take the easier steps. It's step number three. It's a coffee enema or coffee suppository. Hey, nobody said anything about going up the back door. I'm trying to get stuff out the back door. So people are not always super fond of sticking things up there, but a coffee enema or a coffee suppository is really effective at kind of dilating that biliary pathway and opening it up, so it makes it easier for the bile to move. So beet flow is really good at thinning the bile so it can move better, but a coffee suppository or a coffee enema is really good at dilating that pathway so that it can move a little easier. Step number four is a supplement called choline. Now, choline is really great at thinning the bile so it can flow better, but only some people can use choline. You really don't want to use choline if it's not right for your body chemistry. If you do, it can cause some oxygen utilization issues and some energy production problems, and it's not going to be enjoyable for you. But in our free 4-week digestion course, we teach you how to run some self-tests to figure out if choline would really be very beneficial for you or if it's something you need to avoid and stick with some of these other steps. Step number five is lowering estrogen levels if you're dealing with high estrogen issues, or maybe you're using a medication that really raises estrogen. So if you're on some type of birth control that raises estrogen or some other medication, you can talk to your doctor about looking for alternatives or reducing your dose so that you can bring that estrogen level down a little bit. But this can be a big problem because it's really hard to overpower really high estrogen levels, and a lot of the other steps may not be as effective if you keep your estrogen levels high.